Believe it or not, it's an owl, Fiona, and today I'm going to show you how to make this, believe it or not, it's an owl, owl cushion. I mean, it's a cushion if you join it at the top. If you don't join it at the top like me, you can just stuff it with random things, like kids could put their pyjamas or their cuddly toys in it, and you could do like buttons on the top or sew in a zip. Yeah, easier probably to stuff it and a double crochet along the top. You might get it to not be quite as lumpy as mine. But yeah, why not make an oil cushion / something to stuff in. I'll show you how. Okay, we begin with the body with our larger hook, and by creating a magic ring. So you create an X on your fingers with the yarn. You go under the bottom strand, hook the top strand and pull it through and twist to get a loop, and then go back and catch the top strand again and pull that through the loop on the hook, and that gives you a magic ring and a slip knot. So from there we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to put 14 treble crochets into the magic ring or the magic circle. And so all the body is going to be worked in the round, so you just put these all in and then join with the slip knot when you get back to your first stitch. Okay, so at the end, just as I say, you join with a slip stitch into your first stitch of the round, and then you chain 3, and it's going to count as your first treble crochet. So you do another treble crochet into that same space, and then you do 2 treble crochets in each stitch. So each stitch all the way around this time is going to have 2 stitches, two more treble crochets in it. Okay, so after round 2 we're going to have 30 treble crochets in that row. So we chain 3, and this time instead of doing a treble crochet or 2 treble crochets in each stitch, we're going to do alternatively 2 treble crochets, and then in the next stitch 1, and then 2, then 1, then 2, then 1. So each time we're just increasing the size of the circle. So if you do another treble into the same stitch that your chain comes out of, so that sort of counts as 2 in that one, and then we'll do 1 in the next, and then 2 treble crochets in the next stitch, and just do that all the way round, alternating between 2 treble crochets and then the next one's 1 treble crochet. Okay, so we'll slip stitch to join in and finish off that round, and we now should have 45 stitches. So we're going to increase again. This time we do a double crochet again in the same space that our chain comes out of, the same stitch. Now we're going to do like 1 DC in the, or sorry, 1 treble crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then 2 treble crochets in the third or whatever. So we've begun with 2 here, so now we'll do 1 treble crochet in the next, 1 in the next, 2, and then 1, 1, 2. So just that pattern all the way around as we're slowly making this circle increase and become a bit bigger. Okay, so sorry, I should say you repeat that pattern until you get to the last 2 stitches, and instead of doing the pattern there, if we just put 1 treble crochet in each of those stitches, and that will give us 60 stitches in total in this round. But basically, I mean, as long as you have a treble crochet in each stitch, I wouldn't worry if you've missed out some 2 in a stitch or add 2 in a few extra. Like, it's pretty forgiving, I would say. So we just build it up again, 3 more chains and another treble crochet in that same space, and this time we're going to skip 3, well, not skip 3, but do 3 single ones, 3 single trebles in the next 3 stitches, and then 2 in the one after that. So same pattern as before. And like, this would even be good, like this is a good way pattern to learn, because these could be like just left at whatever size you want it, as like little coasters or something. So it's nice to learn how to do the circles. So that's what was the chain and the treble crochet in the first stitch. So then I've done 3 treble crochets in each of the next stitches, and now I'm going to do 2 trebles in this stitch, and then again the next 3 get a single treble crochet, and then on the 4th one we do 2. So just repeat that all the way around until the beginning of the row again, and join it with another slip stitch. The counting, I grant you, is tricky. Keeping track takes a bit of concentration. Okay, so when you come back round this time, join again with a slip knot, and you should have 75, or roughly 75 stitches. And this is almost the base of the yarn. It isn't totally, the next few rows like stretch it a bit, but it begins to turn upwards, because we're just going to put 1 treble crochet in each of the rows, and we're going to build that up here round after round. So from row 6 until row 18, we're just doing 1 treble crochet in each round, and that's what begins to pull it up. So if you want to make a bigger cushion, then you could keep on going, adding more. So the next logical step would be to do a chain of 3, do another treble crochet in that same stitch, and then do 4 stitches with 1 treble crochet, and then do 1 stitch with 2, 4, 1 stitch with 2, all the way around. And you could, you know, and then 5 and then 6 and whatever, to keep on making this bigger. I'm just going to leave it the size it is, and begin to do the just 1 treble crochet in each stitch all the way around. And you know, it begins to go out and get bigger, like just for like a little while, for about 2 rows, and then it begins to curve upwards. So you can choose the size and adapt it as you wish, but I will show you then what we do when we get to row 18 and how we do the top of the cushion. Okay. Okay, so when you get to row 18, or if you're making a bigger pillow, then whatever, the last row, when you're happy with the size of it, then the finishing off row, we're just going to pull the top of it in a bit tighter because it kind of is stretching out. So you chain 3 and then you do 1 triple crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to triple crochet 2 stitches together. So to do this, you yarn over and go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and take 2 loops off, then you yarn over, go into the stitch beside that, pull up a loop, take 2 loops off, and then finally you yarn over and take the rest, the last 3 loops off. So that has now joined those 2 stitches. On the row above there's only going to be 1 stitch where there was 2 in the row below. So then you do 1 treble crochet in each of the next 3 stitches before you do your joining 2 together again, and then that is the pattern. Oh, this is my join one, so I'll go back, go into your stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, take 2 off, yarn over, go into your stitch, pull up a loop, take 2 off, and then take all 3 off together. So then do 3 more treble crochets and then join, and that's the pattern, and it's just going to tighten in the top of the bag slightly. Okay, I've chosen a mustardy colour yarn for the eyes, and it's the same weight as the body, the same weight of yarn. They're both Aran. So I'm using the same larger hook, and I'm going to just make a slip knot, and I'm going to chain 2, and then into the second stitch from the hook, which is the first one we made, we're going to do 14 double crochets. So because it's a slip knot, this the circle will like increase as you need it to, as you put the 14 double crochets into it. When you've your 14 stitches done, you just join it back in to the first stitch with a slip stitch, and then work 2 double crochets in each of the stitches all the way around. Okay, so when you've your 20th stitch done, then you just slip knot it into place, and then we are going to do 4 half treble crochets. So just in the next stitch we're going to make 4 half treble crochets. Oh, sorry. So you wrap your yarn around the hook, you put it through the stitch, you pull up a loop, that's 3, you yarn over and you take all 3 off. So 4 of those, and then you skip a stitch, you slip stitch in the next, you skip a stitch and then you do your 4 half treble crochets, and that is the pattern for this row all around. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so skip, slip stitch, skip, and then 4, and it's kind of making these petal shapes, so just do that until you get back round. Okay, when you get to your last 3 stitches you can't fit in another petally shape, so just skip 1, slip stitch in the middle one, skip the last stitch, and then just join with a slip stitch into the first. I'm calling them petals, we're making an eye, but you know what I mean. They do look sort of similar to petals. And then we can just cut off here and tie off, but leave quite a long tail for the sewing in. So there we go. So we need to make 2 of these, but of course, sorry, this isn't finished yet. We've got another colour to add in. Okay, so now we're going to do the outline of the eye, and it's done in the same colour we used for the body, and we work it into the stitches just at the bottom of these petals, as I've been calling them. So firstly we are going to take the yarn of the body and pull it through a stitch, just bringing it from the back of the work to the front. Yep. And then just go into the stitch beside that and take it back through to the back of your work, and then you can just tie it so it's secured in place. Not very successful, it's alright. There we go. Okay, so now going back into our first stitch, we grab it, grab the working end, and we pull up a loop, and then we just go into, there are these spaces just at the bottom of the petals, so you go into the next one, you pull up a loop from your working yarn, and you do a slip stitch. You just take off the stitch on the hook, and we're going to do that all the way around the eye, and that will look like that when complete it. And then we're just going to use a button to secure the eye on place to the front of the cushion. Okay, for the nose I have moved to a lighter colour, but I mean you can use whatever colours you like. I've made a magic ring with a slip knot, so I'm going to put 12 double crochets into the magic ring or magic circle. Okay, when you finish the 12 double crochets, then just join with a slip stitch into the top of the 2 chain that began the row, and then we are going to chain 3, and this is just like a awkward pattern of stitches to make the 3 peaks. It's kind of triangular shaped. So firstly we do a half treble, so we yarn over and we go into the next stitch, pull through, and then take off all 3 loops on the hook. And then we do a double crochet in the next 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we reach a corner again. So we do like this first 3 chain and the half double crochet. It's counting sort of as a treble crochet and a half treble crochet. So we do again we do a half treble crochet, and then in the same space we do a treble crochet, and then so that's like the next peak. So then in the next 3 stitches again we just do our double, and then we reach our next peak, the bottom of the nose, as it were. So in this stitch we do a half treble, a full treble crochet, and another half treble crochet, and then we just again do a double crochet in the next 3 stitches to bring us back up to the start. And granted now it doesn't really look like much, so we slip stitch in just to join. We slip stitch in to the top of the 3 chain, okay, and we can fasten off, but I don't see my scissors. So if you pull this magic circle closed, you will see that we have created something kind of triangular, almost beak shaped. So then once you tie off that, you can just leave a large tail, and then you'll have that to use to sew into the body with a yarn needle. Okay, so I marked out on the oil, I just safety pinned in place where I want the eyes and the nose to be, and now I'm going to use a mixture of yarn needle to secure on the outer eyes and to secure on the nose, and then also just a normal needle and thread, because these button eyes are going to go in the middle. So I'm just going to sew those all on, just roughly where I kind of think they should go, and that'll be us finished whenever we're able to tidy up the loose ends of thread. Okay, if you want to join this then to close the pillow, then you would just fill the inside with stuffing, and then double crochet along the top. So just putting your hook through each stitch, making sure it goes through both sides, so it's all held together. So go through the first side, and then you pick up the next stitch on the back as well, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and take both off, and you just simply join it with those double crochets all along. And then you can tie off and tidy in your ends, like take a yarn needle and sew in any remaining ends. Yeah, there we go. The finished article, wonky eyes and all. I did mention how my sewing wasn't really my best skill. And I have mine currently filled with balls of yarn because I decided to put buttons on mine, so you could like stuff it with pyjamas or cuddly toys or whatever if you don't want to sew it up and make it into a cushion. Yeah, have fun with it. It's I don't know, maybe I just think all crochet projects are fun, but I enjoyed making it, so good luck.